Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. In the name of my Guruji, Shri Mohanji, I greet each and every one of you with all of my love and my respects and my gratitude. Today, I would like to make a very short video describing the significance of Aarti. We all do Aarti. We all do Aarti after each puja or at the beginning of each day. But why do we do this? What is the significance of it? So there are actually two ways of thinking about this, philosophically and of course in terms of bhakti. So let's start first philosophically, and after that we'll look at it in terms of bhakti. So one of the simplest ways of doing Aarti is to offer a lamp. It could be a single lamp with a single diya, a single flame. It could be a lamp that has more than one flame, like this one. It could even be much more extravagant. You have very big lamps. For instance, this lamp here has 27 different flames that it can hold. You have lamps that can hold 57. You can have lamps that hold 108 different flames. But the idea is to offer fire, the element of fire. And there's a very big significance in this. Fire is an element that brings purification. And it has the unique ability that itself, fire itself, cannot be made impure. All the other elements that we deal with, whether it's water or earth or air or whatever it is, the other four elements, these elements can be made impure. And we've experienced this, right? Let's say we give our dog a bath. Do we now take that bath water and drink it? We don't, because that water has been contaminated by the dirt that was on the dog's fur. We all had this occasion where we go into a shop or somewhere and there's someone that has very bad body odor. That odor is actually contaminating the air, the wind, right? We all know how contaminated the wind will be if you stand near someone that hasn't had a bath for 2 weeks. So even air or wind can be contaminated. But fire has this innate principle, this innate ability to burn all types of impurities without it itself becoming impure. You never say, I'm not going to use that fire, it's a dirty fire. We never say that. I'm not going to use this fire, it's an impure fire. We never say that. Whatever we put into fire gets burned completely. And this is actually why fire is used, because it's symbolic of purity. It's symbolic of purifying the space where the Aarti or the ritual is being done, purifying yourself internally, even for instance, maybe you are doing Aarti for your Guru. It sends good vibes, good energy to your Guru himself, and will help the Guru's body heal, help the Guru's body deal with what the disciples put the Guru through. So that's why fire is used, and it's one of the simplest ways of doing Aarti. Light a piece of camphor, for instance, or a wick soaked in some vegetable ghee, and you turn it clockwise around the picture or murti, image of the person that you want to do the Aarti for. Again, something like camphor is used because when it burns to nothing. There's no residue left when you use pure camphor or pure ghee with cotton. And this again is symbolic because it signifies transformation. Transformation that should happen in us when we do Aarti. All our ego, all our vice should all be burned to ashes. This idea of duality should be burned to ashes. Mohanji has a very nice saying, you are put through fire so that you can be burned to ashes, so that Lord Shiva can wear you on his body. And it's very profound because during Aarti, I think about that. When I see the camphor turn to nothing or the wick turn to nothing, I keep on thinking of Mohanji's words, burn to ashes so that Lord Shiva can wear you. It's only when our ego is destroyed, our duality is destroyed, when these vices that we have are destroyed, can we be made pure enough for even Lord Shiva to adorn his body with us. So again, it's very symbolic to use a flame. Many people do a little bit more advanced aartis. So they offer more things. One medium aarti that is done is where you offer 5 items, right? You offer again the lamp, you offer some water. So you normally put it into a sunk like this that's closed in the back, and you offer the water. You offer a piece of cloth. So you find yourself a pretty piece of cloth, and you use this only for the aarti. You can use a handkerchief. And of course, fans. You know, there's different types of fans. You offer the fans to deities. And the last offering, of course, is a flower. You offer a flower. And this again is very symbolic. This five objects that we are offering actually represents 5 different elements. Of course, the flame represents fire. Then the water represents the water. The flower represents scent, which is like ether. The cloth represents something that comes from earth. You know, the fans represent wind. So this represents 5 elements. So what are we doing? We are offering the 5 elements back to God. And this again is very symbolic in that we are making a profound statement. We are making the statement that nothing belongs to us. It is God that has become everything through the 5 elements. No matter how subtle or gross something may be, it is made up of these 5 elements. And it is God that has become these 5 elements. The deity that you're doing the aarti for, that deity has become these 5 elements. So whether it's a human being, whether it's the murti itself, whether it's the body of your guru, whether it's what lives inside of your guru, whether it's the fan that you're using, or the flame that you're using, or the utensils that you're using, or the clothes that you're wearing, or the chair that you're sitting on, it all is made up of these 5 elements. So you are reinforcing the idea in your mind, number 1, God has become everything. Everything you see is God. There's nothing pure, there's nothing impure, there is only Satchitananda. There is only God. And this is why Aarti again is very purifying for yourself and the environment. It also has other meanings. It has a very sweet meaning in that the offerings that we are offering to God belongs to Him already. You know, it's like a child asking his dad for 5 rands and then going and buying a small sweet or toy and coming and giving it to his dad and saying, Dad, this is for you. I love you. How will a father feel? Obviously, the father's heart will melt. From an outside point of view, the father is giving the money to buy the sweet for himself. But for the father, it's a very different story. That love, that gratitude that is being offered is what the father sees. So we are offering back to God what belongs to God. Nothing belongs to us. In this temporary world, nothing belongs to us. Not our family, not our cars, not our houses, not our clothes, not even this body belongs to us. And this is an important lesson of Aarti. Do not take ownership of anything. Mohanji always says, suffering comes when you take ownership. Aarti is a lesson to not take ownership. Everything belongs to God. Everything is God's work. And then this can be further thought of, and a very profound statement can be made. It actually means that you are God, the deity you're worshipping is God, what you're using is God. So it is God that is using God to worship God. Think about that. God, which is you, is using God, which is the articles that you're using for the worship. You're using God to worship God. Everything is God. This is sometimes when I do Aarti, something that I repeat in my mind over and over again. Bhagwan is using Bhagwan to worship Bhagwan. Or in my case, Mohanji is using Mohanji to worship Mohanji. So that I understand fully, it sinks in my mind that everything is Mohanji. And that the Vedic saying, the summary of the Vedas, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the universe, starts taking a whole new meaning, a whole profound, more experiential meaning, rather than just some knowledge meaning. Then, of course, you have the bhakti aspect to the Aarti, which I love a lot. And this can be akin to your relationship with your child, for instance. So you make God, you make Mohanji, you make Shiva, you make Devi, you make Lord Krishna, your baby, right? And at the beginning of the Aarti, you start ringing that bell, right? Almost like a school bell, saying, okay, recess is over, it's time to come in. So you're telling God, okay, God, wherever you are, your playing time is over now. Please, my Munna Krishna, my Gopala, my little Dattatreya, it's time for you to come back home, to come back into my arms. So you're ringing that bell. So when your Lord Krishna comes to you, when your Lord Datta comes to you, your little Mohanji comes to you, of course you'll be worried. You spent the whole day looking after the whole world. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? Are you dirty? So you light the lamp and you turn it around him, almost looking for where he may have gotten hurt, or looking for where he may be dirty. Out of love and devotion you do this. And then you say, your feet is dirty, your hands are dirty. So then you offer water in that conch, circling it around the deity, bathing the deity. So you're bathing your Munna, you're bathing your child. You're making him fresh. And then you use that beautiful soft cloth and then you wipe him down. After that, you offer the flower. That flower has a beautiful scent. So your deity, your Munna, has a beautiful smell on the body, adorned with beautiful flowers, so it's pleasing to the eye. Of course, then it's hot. So you take the fan and you start fanning the little Munna, the little God, the little Krishna, the little Shiva. And as you fan, your heart expands more and more and more, because this is your child. This is your personal relationship with God, not anybody else's. You're not interpreting God the way other people have interpreted God. This is your interpretation, your feeling, your bhav for God. And of course, you can do much more with Aarti. A lot of people offer food during Aarti. So you're feeding your Munna, you're feeding your God, something nice that he may like. Some people offer the Vahana or different items that the deity might like. For instance, here, it's a Dhamaru. So we offer the Dhamaru to our baby Shiva. or baby Monji saying, okay, you play with the Damaru now. You home now. You know, it's time for you to be at home and be with us. Sometimes people offer fans, beautiful fans. Sometimes people offer umbrellas, like this one here, you know, during Aarti. It's all done in a way that you try and create a personal relationship with your deity. So you give your deity human qualities, the qualities of hunger, the qualities of being needed to be protected from shade, from the sun, so it needs to be shaded, the quality of wanting to drink water, of needing to have a bath. And then you develop this relationship, this pure relationship with God. So it's a very profound feeling when you feel God as your child. Normally we feel we are God's child and we need to be protected by God. But Aarti is different. Aarti is so intimate because God becomes your child. And you need to protect God. You need to look after your munna. You need to make sure he's clean and fed and comfortable. It creates a whole new dimension between you and God, between you and your Guru. So this is the bhakti reason for why we do Aarti. Aarti is incredibly purifying. In fact, I think it's the Skanda Purana that said, even if you can't do japa, if you can't do homas, if you can't do puja, God will be extremely pleased if you simply do an Aarti for him. That's it. Because imagine that relationship you have. If you're doing the Aarti in the morning, you're waking your munna up, saying, baby, wake up. You know, it's time for you to go and work now. Let me give you a bath. Let me feed you before you start your day. At night, when you do the Aarti, okay, Munna, come home now. You worked hard. Let me feed you. Let me bath you. Let me take care of you. Let me wipe your body. And let me put you off to sleep. You rest now. I will look over you while you sleep. It is developing a love relationship with God, an intimate relationship with God, a relationship that is so strong that no matter what happens in your life, you remain equanimous because you know that God is watching over you. And in fact, you are watching over God. So it's a very, very, very beautiful puja to do. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. Just offer some form of fire, camphor, a diya, a candle, an incense, and just circle it around clockwise, around the picture of your deity or murti of your deity or some symbol of your deity. And just feel these emotions. Aham brahmasmi. God is worshipping God, using God. This is my munna. This is my baby. And it's my turn now to look after. Thank you very much. I hope that this helped you understand Aarti a little bit more. Om Para Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tatvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodaya. If there were any mistakes in this, that is completely and utterly my fault. And if you've learned anything, if you've enjoyed the video, that is the blessings of my Guru. Thank you very much. Till next time.